exactly the longest or thickest man. Sometimes a small bony one will do the trick too, you know?
If you know how to move.
What?
If you know how to move.
Exactly, if you know how to work it. Grind it.
What about if licking?
Licking, I just only recently liked licking. Definitely you have to ask questions when you're down there, which it's not always the most sensual thing, but if you don't know what the woman wants, then you can't just guess, you know? And you can definitely not lick your name or the ABCs, like A, B, C, you know, I don't know what some guys are doing down there. But,
how do you think should guy lick?
Definitely not directly on the clit, because that can be painful for some women, you know, if it's like directly on it, that's not so good always.
It's
too direct, you know, it's like, ooh, wow, that's a very sensitive area, so you must treat it with care. Right around it could be nice, you know. It depends on the woman, it really does, but I know you're asking about me specifically.
Your opinion.
Before years ago, I would never let a guy go down there because they just didn't seem to know what they were doing, and I would be bored. I would be like twiddling my thumbs, you know, which is kind of rude to say, but I don't know what they were doing. And recently, you know, I met someone and he seems to know what he's doing. So, but I don't expect a guy to know. You know, we don't expect men to be telepathic and to just know.
Yeah.
But just to feel our bodies, you know what I mean? See if we're going with that, or, you know, if we're making
it's happening with it.
Right. Just feel it, test it out, and enjoy it. I always think that a guy doesn't like it, that they're just doing it to please the woman. And that's the worst feeling, is that someone's just doing it out of obligation.
Yeah.
Right. You like to think that the guy enjoys it.
Really loving it.
Right, of course I keep it clean, you know what I'm saying? I don't expect a guy to go down there after a day of hard work, and I'll hop in the shower, I'll, you know, put some like nice powder or perfume, although, you know, I don't expect you to lick powder or perfume, but, you know, I'd like to have it nice and sweet. Yeah. Fruit is nice too, like if you wanted to use a slice of peach or something and just play with it, right, put it in.
Try to eat it.
Yeah, try to eat it. It's always nice, fruit.
Cold fruit or?
Ooh, if it's room temperature, that's nicer. It's a bit nicer, yeah.
What about massage when I'm massaging you?
That is so relaxing, but I almost want to say if you massage us too well, don't expect us to be awake when you're doing it, you know what I mean? So just a light massage.
Yes?
Can I borrow your white jacket?
Yes?
Ooh, I can't stay much.
Okay.
So,
No problem.
It's nice.
and
Go
thanks.
get him, killer.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's important for a guy to be realistic about a woman's body, to expect that there will be some flaws. I mean, I think so many times, because men are so used to seeing pornographic images of perfect women with like silicone tits and, you know, sculpted asses. And I mean, yes, I work out, I'm tight, but expect that. Don't expect, you know, I mean, every woman is a goddess in her own right. I really, really think that. And I think if men could be hip to that fact, that they would be a lot more satisfied in their relationships. They wouldn't be searching always for some unrealistic, like, icon woman thing. But I think it's good for a man, if he's with a woman, to just, a little body worship is never out of the question. You know, you can always kiss a woman from head to toe. She would never object. And you can always say her name. The name is the most pleasing sound for anyone to hear. You know, anyone in the human race loves to hear their name just about more than any other word, you know?
True.
Totally. And if you could just whisper it softly in someone's ear, that's very erotic. Also, I think erotic is the key word here. Not so much like fucking or, you know, sex or anything mechanical, but just something beautiful and intimate and shared. You know, nothing selfish and nothing, you know. Although occasionally you might want to get down into the dirtiness of, you know, just a bone crushing.
When you like it.
Power fuck, yeah, but, you know.
True.
I think a little beauty and creativity always outdoes the generic, boring, mechanical stuff.
Make it happen more.
Right, exactly.
Without touch.
Right.
Softness.
Soft touching and sweet body oils, candles, you know. But it doesn't always have to be that, you know. It doesn't always have to be, you know. It can be someplace quite abrasive, like an alleyway, or you know, behind a building in a busy street
You
in
like
New
that?
York. You know, anything spontaneous is nice.
I love this.
Yeah,
I do.
it's very
I love the spontaneous part. Going just going to down building, or just in the car, stop the car in the middle of nowhere, and just
Exactly. Stop the car in the middle of nowhere.
just take the dress and
Totally.
Just-
Everything.
I love
Total
this.
Henry
Make me-
and June, you know?
make me that.
Exactly. Yeah.
This movie I'm working on now.
Henry and June?
No, this movie I'm writing now. Something like that about a lady. She's full spontaneous,
Yeah.
and she's like putting the agent in the middle of driving. Boom, off. Take me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Totally.
no, I want you now. And he's like, it's freaking out from her. And she's just,
He's shocked because
Come.
she's so overwhelming.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she's just turning off. She doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
She wants them to take her. She
Okay.
wants her to him to come to her and just
Mm-hmm.
do. And then using a lot of things like that, driving cars and all things like that. It's a love story
Nice.
between two.
Like on a pier somewhere?
Yeah,
Like it's
they're
in the
like,
middle of the night?
no, they're like, we've got the scene like in the supermarket, you know?
Yeah.
She's speaking, she's looking at the cucumbers and
Produce.
zucchinis and stuff like that, and she holding it like that, and she's saying to the guy in the bathroom, and excuse me, where's the bathroom? It's emergency. She's telling him, it's right here. We don't need a bathroom here, the supermarket, it's really emergency, now we need it.
Right.
And she's going to the bathroom,
With
and
the
then
cucumber.
the cucumber, and just, we don't see it, but she just do those things, she always do it in the movie. We don't see a lot of sex in the movie,
Right.
but it's just this all the time.
Suggestive.
All the time.
That's
We just
nice.
see it once or twice, but from that you can get the break over, you know.
Right, definitely.
But
I think a lot of you know, nice spaces are good. You know, if a guy has a nice room, a nice soft bed, it's making it very comfortable for me. It's good. You know,
you like my bed?
it's nice. It's nice. You know, I have to go very soon. But I think too, if you know, taking trips places is very fun too.
Trip places?
Right, like day trips and things, you know, like on a train or something would be nice. You know.
Train trip is nice. Did you ever do it on your airplane?
On a train or an airplane? No, I haven't, but I've thought about it, you know, of course. I think a lot of women think of that when they're traveling alone, like if some mysterious, good-looking stranger would just overtake her and take her into one of the guest or sleeping cars or something on a train or a plane. That would be nice.
Happened to me in the airplane.
Yeah.
In the airplane, we just was sitting there, and it was like 12 hours flight. It was like, and a lady just met.
Wow.
It was just met, and she was sitting, and she was vibed. Like, the light off, everybody was sleeping, and just start touching each other like that.
Wow.
In the chair,
12
everybody.
hours is a long flight.
Everybody, we did it like 4 times in the same night.
Wow.
In the
Lucky.
plane, all the food plane sleeping,
Mhm.
and we're just doing it, but slowly and soft. Nobody felt it,
Mhm.
but the things was so beautiful, just silent. Having me once.
It's nice when a guy picks you up too. Like if he can lift you, you know,
Nothing.
by your legs kind of thing, pull your ass up, you know, if you're standing up, leaning against something. That's always nice, you know. Of course, if you're a fat cow, it can't happen, but... Right.
Tell me other places, fantasy.
Okay, I said a train already. Would be nice, yeah. And of course, you know, the tacky, like Rent by the Alamo,